Hey, what's up guys, this is Astranox and I'm back with another Epic 7 video. So in this one I want to talk about the rate up banner for Tamarine and Idol's Cheer. This artifact is actually really good. I would pull only for this artifact, and if I get Tamarine it would be a bonus, I guess. But yeah, let me talk about the artifact first. And I'll go through the list of pros and cons for Tamarine. I'll talk about her multipliers. I'll talk about like who she could be used with, paired with, where she can shine in the game, and yeah, how the AI works when you play with her, and talk about like some bug with her stats and all that stuff. So yeah, let's begin with this artifact. It's actually really good. At plus 15, it's gonna give you 15% increase in combat readiness on the ally with the highest attack if the Soul Weaver that carries it gets attacked. 100% chance when it gets attacked. That's really good. And you could like have your Soul Weaver, let's say Angelica in the front line in the Wyvern 11, and if you can survive without relying on your current artifact, you can definitely swap it for this one, and you're gonna deal more damage that way. Also in Golem, he always use area attack, so it's gonna trigger this artifact and it will give your attacker combat readiness. Even if you use Kiris, if she has the highest attack, you could like trigger, she's gonna go more often and like do the poisoning and extend debuff duration. In Banshee there's a lot of area attacks going off, so that's very good, and pretty much like area attacks are all over the game. And also you could use this thing in Arena and Guild War offense. You could element bait the enemy, so like if their team is let's say Earth, you could bait with like a Soul Weaver like Angelica. They're gonna attack her, and you're gonna give combat readiness to your highest attacker, so that's great. You can do the same yeah, in Arena, but mostly in Guild War because it's only 3v3, so there's less offense going off. You can also use it in an Arena defense composition or Guild War defense if you're like if you can stall enough and all that stuff. So that's good. If you can take the damage, and even the attacker, you will need it to survive, because I mean you don't want to lose your attacker in 2 seconds. But that's usually how it goes, especially when you get outsped. All right, so let's talk about Tamarine. So she's 5-star. She's fire. She's a Soul Weaver, and I mean, she looks good. Let's check her skill preview. Let me talk about. There's a bug. I mean, I'm assuming it's a bug because it doesn't make sense. Because Ken got fixed. Her idle form is a buff that lasts 3 turns, and it can be dispelled. So I mean, the whole point is for her to go in idle form, and I mean, the thing get dispelled. So yeah, and also it can be countered with the unbuffable debuff, and also like Kitty Clarissa can reduce the enemy's buff count. So like she could reduce her idle buff by 1 turn. Alright, so that's enough for this. So Tamarine, skill 1. So normal form attacks an enemy with a serene melody and heals the ally with the lowest health. Amount recovered increased proportional to the ally's max health. This is 7% of the target's max health. Decrease cooldown of Shining Star by 1 turn. Shining Star is her ultimate. And when in idle form, attacks all enemies with a beautiful voice, dispelling all buffs. That's very good, and a skill 1 that attacks all, it is very strong. Triggers a dual attack from the ally with the highest attack. That's also amazing. Soul Burn increase the damage. So the multiplier, the damage on this thing is 1.4, and the Soul Burn is 1.8. So 1.4, so 140% and 182%. Now skill 2. Normal form heals all allies with a peaceful melody. Amount recovered increased proportional to the caster's max health. Decrease cooldown of Shining Star by 1 turn. So both of like skill 1 and skill 2 decrease Shining Star by 1 turn. So she has to go for turns, because she will drop a cooldown every time she goes, but also drop her cooldown when she uses skill 1 or 2. So 4 turns, unless you're using, you're triggering, she got triggered in a dual attack, or if you have counters set on her, or if you're carrying a prophetic candlestick 3-star artifact, and you could cycle through her skills faster if you are carrying Magahara's Tome. Alright, if you pair her with Isaria, she can just have this thing ready as soon as on turn 1 if Isaria is faster. If you pair her with the 3-star ice hero Rima, you can reduce this by 3 turns with Rima's ultimate, or you can also use Dingo to reduce this by 1 turn with Dingo's ultimate. But the problem is, it's in the wording though, it's in the wording, it says that begins every battle with full cooldown count. Begins every battle with full cooldown count. Every wave that you do, this thing will be back on max cooldown. So in adventure, she's trash. In arena early on, she's trash. But that's why I was talking about like on defense, if you make her tanky enough, I mean, she could be used, but her stats, her health, unfortunately her healing skills with her health, and the health is very low, but the defense is good, and she's the fastest Soul Weaver. Her attack is average, but she just seems to be a jack of all trade, master of none. So back to skill 2. Heals all allies with a peaceful melody. Amount recovered increased proportional to the caster's max health. This is 15% of her own max health, and she already has a quite poor base health. Decrease cooldown of Shining Star by 1 turn. Yes. Idle form with a powerful performance increases attack of all allies for 2 turns and increase combat readiness by 30%. Now there is a pretty big plus here, is that yeah, it's a 2-turn cooldown. The AI on auto will use skill 2 and then skill 1 and then skill 2 again as soon as it's ready. But look at those skill enhance. This goes up to 50% combat readiness boost for your whole team. That is a lot. I mean, if you have Isaria, I would pull for her. I would pull for her unless you have a bunch of Soul Weavers already and like you're good. Like if I had a Katis, which I don't, I would if I had a Katis, I would probably not pull for her, but the artifact is so good though. The artifact is so good. So yeah, back on this thing, that's 50% combat readiness. It's huge. 50% combat readiness. Use a skill 1, remove dispel all buffs on the enemy, trigger dual attack, pop this thing again, give another 50% combat readiness, but you need full skill ups and it's gonna take time for that. Big investment to get it there, because as you can see, I mean the big plus 5% is at the end. I mean, so yeah. Now, yeah, there's 55% increase in damage from the skill enhance as well here. So I talked about needing to go 4 times for this thing to be ready, because you go -1 turn, you do -1 turn on the ultimate from using that. So yeah, 4 turns unless she triggers a dual attack, counter set, or prophetic candlestick, Magahara's Tome to speed things up, or using Isaria or Rima or Dingo. So where is she gonna shine? She's gonna definitely shine in long battles. I mean, battles that last more than 4 turns, of course. But this thing is very powerful. Before performing, dispels all debuffs inflicted on all allies. If you can stall in let's say in a Guild War defense, but it's mostly, she's so squishy. You need to make sure that she's not gonna get attacked, because you need her to be very quick. You're gonna put her on a speed set in most cases with speed boots, so there's not a lot of room for health increase there. I mean defense and health, but it's mostly health increase you want, because this scales with her own max health. But yeah, it's good that it dispels first and then recovers, because if you have unhealable debuff, well, it will be taken off, and then she, yeah. Also, wait, I don't get that. Why? If she has the unbuffable debuff, what were people saying that it will counter this idle form? It won't counter it because she is removing debuffs first and then recovering health, and then she goes in idle. Or they tested it and she goes in idle and then uses she dispels afterward, and then she recovers her own health to maximum. So let us know in the comment section, guys, is it really like, can this thing not get applied if you do have the unbuffable debuff on yourself, even though the wording says that it dispels and then it heals, and then caster becomes an idle? Yeah, but I mean, it's odd. She could go in idle and then dispel and then heal back to full and then get an extra turn. Yeah, let us know how that works. But really, like, this thing gets reset between waves. You cannot like get this thing ready for in your raid, or you cannot get this thing ready in the Abyss on wave 1, and then when you encounter the boss on wave 2, this is gonna go back on maximum cooldown count. So that's unfortunate. She would be very powerful if that wasn't the case, but her kit is very flexible. It's just there's that condition. That's a big condition. She's just gonna be healing. She's just gonna be healing and dealing some damage until she goes in idle form. So a battle that will last, let's say 6 turn plus, she can shine there. That's gonna be in raid, and so normal raid, hell raid especially. And if you can stall in PvP somehow and not have her killed, because on defense they will snipe her, they will easily kill her before she can do anything. So it's mostly gonna be in PvP offense, where you can control the outcome. Like you can bring in, like, you're not facing a bunch of ice heroes, so if they don't have an ice damage dealer, they will not be targeting her in most cases, so she's gonna take less damage, and you could like you could do something interesting with her there. But she's very niche, and resources are not easy to obtain in this game, and you have to be smart about how you invest your resources. And she's so niche that I cannot recommend you to get her unless you have Isaria, but it's up to you to decide if you want to pull or not. I feel like I want to pull because of Idol's Shear. That artifact is so good. That thing's so good, so I will be pulling just for that. If I get her, I mean, I might not get the artifact, I might not get her, but I might get like a 4-star hero or artifact that I need. So really, like, if you are saving for a limited hero, make sure you have the bookmarks saved up and you're using extra bookmarks. Luna, at this point, I feel like she's never coming. So if you're holding for her, well, you can keep holding for the limited banner to have the 600 bookmarks, or 600 bookmark worth in bookmarks and sky stones. But I definitely I'm not pulling for her. If I do get her, I don't have a Catus, so I could use her for Golem. I can test her out for you guys, and Wyvern and Golem. Can test her in raids. I can test her in arena. Well, it will be offense. Definitely not putting her on defense. She's gonna get sniped. And yeah, I'm done with the Abyss. So don't pull for her just for the Abyss though, because when you're done with the Abyss, that's it until they release more content. And her memory imprint is 10.8% attack increase for the whole team. Well, beside herself, you don't get affected by your own memory imprint. That is at triple S. It's, I mean, it's a small boost. Most players might never get a memory imprint, a duplicate of the hero. She's gonna be part of the normal rotation. You can, like, if we get, let's say you're pulling for ML summons, Moonlight summons all the time, we will get more 4-star and 5-star hero tickets in the future. So you could get her that way. You could get her from a daily summon. You could get her when you're pulling for another banner. So she's not limited, and you might never see her in 1,000, 2,000 bookmarks. It's just the way it is, or you might get her after one pull. It's all RNG. That's how gacha system works. And you will have to decide, do you have, let's say, like, maybe you don't have any Soul Weaver. She could help you. Let's say you want to prioritize farming Golem. She can help you there. So yeah, these could be reasons why you want to pull for her. Also, she's the fastest Soul Weaver, so that's good. She's got an average amount of attack, but I mean, her kit, she has so many things going on. She has so many things. But if you use her in Golem, you're not going to bring Rima to reduce her cooldown by 3 turns. Rima, I mean, Golem 11, she's going to be perma-stunned and killed. You could bring Dingo with Tamarine. If you have Isaria, I would definitely pull for at least the artifact. If you get her, that's a bonus. But I feel like you could do some really interesting things with Isaria and her in a lot of content in the game. But she's very niche by herself, very niche. And for parts like adventure, I mean, at this point in the game, unless you're starting out now, adventures, we just like destroy them. It's easy, so it's fine. Like, if this thing, you'll never use it because this thing's always gets reset between waves, it's fine. But yeah, Golem, Abyss if you're not done, Raid, Normal, and Hell, especially Hell Raid. And yeah, very niche, so like I said, you will have to decide, but I feel like it's a bit of a trap, but sort of not, because the artifact's very good. So I went through my list here of pros and cons, but let us know about that unbuffable debuff, because if she goes in idle form first and then she dispels, I mean, she cannot go in idle form. She cannot get that idle buff if she has the unbuffable debuff. So you guys need to confirm in the comment section if you have her and if you tested it, because from what I read, it might be players that don't have her said that, but I've heard it multiple times. So yeah, they will definitely fix it if that's how it works. And also, this can be dispelled, the idle buff, so they will definitely fix that. That has to be a bug, because I mean, it's such a huge part of her core mechanic, like Ken with Vigor. They have to fix it. But yeah, so low health, at least her skill 1 scales off the target max health, because it heals the target with the lowest amount of health. So that's good. But yeah, unfortunately, her skill 2 only scales off her own self max HP. So unfortunately, it doesn't scale like Hazel based on attack and her max HP. And unfortunately, it doesn't work with the target max HP. I guess it would be too strong because she's really in the lower end on the base health spectrum. So yeah, and here, you know, I guess I can do a more in-depth review, but I guess this covers it if we get the confirmation about that unbuffable debuff. And that's gonna be it, guys. So if you're pulling, good luck. I will be pulling for the artifact in a different video. I do have quite a bit of tries saved up. I mean, if I pull something like a Catus, there's a bunch of 4-star heroes and artifact I still need, so yeah, if you're aiming for those, you're not setting up yourself for disappointment, at least, but it's still kind of hard to get a 4-star. But yeah, if you end up doing an ML summon or using a 4/5-star summoning ticket, good luck with those pulls, guys. I'm out for now. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Press the bell icon if you'd like to be notified whenever I release a new video. And check out my other videos and guides like on the screen right now. Alright, peace out for now.